Okay, namaste, great souls. Always wonderful to share the practice together. And today I want to focus on finding and receiving our inner guidance, being open to our inner guidance. And it's not as hard as you may think, unless you may be having a practice where you do this all the time. But the basic ingredients are getting the energy going, which the yoga will do, up the spine, but then also keeping that calm heart to receive the answers, because of course our likes and dislikes and our biases, our personal agenda may be getting in the way of just opening to a question that we may have in our life, that we do have in our lives as it goes on. So I will get into that more as we go through the class, but especially at the end, leading a meditation around that. And before we go to the floor, it's also good just when we start the practice, to what's called try to just empty out personal conceptions for this moment to moment awareness, so that we can be more open to receiving what is happening within us and around us. So we will get started on seated in a classic Surya Beta Pranayama, alternate nostril breath. So this one is one of the simpler alternate nostril breaths, meaning I'll just demo here first and then go sit down. So we can either have the little finger or two fingers. We're going to just keep the same flow going, meaning we're going to close the right nostril, inhale to the left, 5 or 6, hold the breath at the spiritual eye, close the left nostril, exhale through the right. And we're just going to continue that cycle 5 times. I'm going to go for a 5-5-5. If you want to change that rhythm up for your body, certainly do that. And we'll get started with helping us equalize the energy throughout our system. As we do know about these fluctuations that go on. Emotions, energy and motion, we're stabilizing that. All right, first let's exhale completely through the mouth. Gently close the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale through the left. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold both nostrils. Focus at the spiritual eye. 4, 5. Exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Close the right. Inhale through the left. 2, 3, 4, 5. Close both nostrils. Focus at the spiritual eye. 3, 4, 5. Exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue. Close the right. Inhale through the left. Doing great. 3, 4, 5. Close both nostrils. Focus upward. 4, 5. Exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Close the right. Inhale through the left. 2, 3, 4, 5. Gentle focus. 3, 4, 5. Exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more round. Own pace. Inhaling through the left. Holding the breath, focusing at the spiritual eye, holding both nostrils gently. And then exhaling through the right. And releasing the hands and just taking a full yogic breath. Belly, ribs, chest expanding, opening through the crown. And then crown, heart, ribs, belly, feet. Just tuning in, there may be something you would like inner guidance with. on a soul level. We tend to do that rationally in our brain, but we want to go to a deeper heart level when we ask for guidance. And again, energy and calmness are key for this practice. All right, we'll come on to our backs. So taking your time, have your props by your side. We're going to ease on down, extra blankets, whatever works for you. Lift the heart and then tuck the tailbone under and just shimmy, shake down. Press to the feet. Sweep the arms up and around. Keep energy through the feet so you feel your low back engaged. And we want to kind of do something different. We did this last week when we were seated up and did this opening of the heart. But we can do this now on our backs. We're going to inhale, let the arms come up and cross and wrap around to our shoulders. Give ourselves a heart hug. Give yourself a lot of compassion for all kinds of things, especially for showing up today. And then opening. Any breath pace that works for you. It's the intention of the arms coming up, crossing over in a different way. Maybe feel slightly different as you give yourself a heart hug and work with yourself throughout the practice, throughout the day with awareness. Just coming back to this moment. And then this one, we're going to bring our hands interlocked together. Keep pressing through the feet, press through the palms, soften the elbows and make that plate-like shape. Circling and opening the back of the scapula. Very gentle to start out, but intentional. Intentional. And see, as we release, just see if we could just empty out a little bit more of our personal identity, just for even a moment as we arc on the inhale and then flatten on the exhale. So we're just opening up the presence, life force energy that's already whole and free. It's wonderful to keep attuning to our natural state. And then one more time, arc and curl. Great. Hug those knees in this time. Another hug. Thank you, body, for showing up. So full opening of our hips here as we circle a few times in each direction. And then go the opposite, or beginning to open the hips, I should say. Feel the sacrum releasing as well. Okay. From here, if your spine's okay to rock and roll, we'll go ahead and give it a little rock and roll. Otherwise, you'll roll onto your side to come up. And I'm going to add the double blanket here underneath the knees for extra padding. Give our cat-cow variation. So making sure that the knees are underneath the hips, the wrists are underneath the shoulders. And we're going to add just one classic cat-cow before we do one leg variations. So we'll exhale, drawing in phase. Inhale, scooping out, yawn. Now notice the difference when your inner elbows come a little bit forward toward the front. And then they softly round. Now come to neutral. We'll bring that left knee in the center. We're going to draw the right knee toward the forehead. It probably won't touch. That's not necessary. But then we keep the knee bent as we pulse up, 2, 3. Fold in. Then pulse up, 2, 3. Round. And then pulse. 2. It's actually 2, but and one more. Keep the yin phase. You'll see how it's required to engage more musculature as we're pulsing. Turn the right toes under and just start to open the hamstrings back and forth. Okay, and we'll see how we do on our left side. So right knee toward the center line of the body, folding the left knee in, and then flexing through, pulse, pulse, and fold in at your pace. Get back. Energy. Folding in and pulsing twice. Notice the difference on each side. One more time on this side. And pulse. Pulse. Excellent. Turn those left toes under and go back and forth. Feeling the hamstring and allowing the flow to happen. Now from here, we'll just start to warm up in our Salambhasana locust series. So we'll bring one forearm down, then the other. Reach through the heels. And then just pulse both. Now legs forward, but the heart's reaching forward and then reaching through the heels. And then come down on top of the knees into our Sphinx for a moment to engage those legs. And then let the elbows come out to the side. Massaging the scapula, the shoulders. Okay. And I try to always do locust as a great warm up for the back. But we're going to feel now as the arms come out to the side, energize the legs. Lift the heart and the head, and then notice what happens when the arms reach up and the T, but then also bring the thumbs up. That rotation in the scapula, and then see what happens when we bring the thumbs down. You can bring them down or all the way back around to the other side. So internal and external rotation, like strong. You can even lift the feet off the ground if you like. Pulsing up, recharging, and then thumbs reach in the opposite direction. Great for the shoulders. Inhale one more time. Thumbs up as much as you can. And then thumbs down and back around as much as you can. And resting at the spiritual eye. And just taking a full yogic breath, a couple rounds on our belly here. Just receiving support of Mother Earth, so nourishing. See if you can soften that area. We just energize. So we energize and then we relax and feel. Clearing the pathways. Okay, feet are hip width apart, and we're going to take it into a mini cobra or full cobra, whatever speaks to you in this moment to moment awareness, tuning in. Hands underneath the shoulders, elbows by our side, legs strong, rising up to greet this day. What are the opportunities of this day? Shoulders down, knees up, maybe lion's breath. Couple times. All right, and knees touch down. We're going to take it from cat to gradually to our down dog. So hover those knees off the ground. Strengthening as we lift the tailbone, but engage that core. Now again, notice when we just bring the inner elbow slightly more forward toward the front of the mat. That's going to contain and strengthen bones. I'm adding some ripple here. You can add ripple. You could tread it out.
But so invoking the calmness within. Calmness, that's what radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And be able to listen more clearly when our heart is calm, but then also energy is radiating through the cells of the body. Okay, stepping one foot forward, then the other, one hand back, then the other. You want to massage the back of the scalp and sides, relaxing, casting aside unnecessary mental burdens, worries, doubts, fears. Let them go. So do what we can. There's something to be done. An activation, but right now we're letting go things we can't control. That's a really important to bring us back to the present moment as we root down and really feel our feet here. And heart lifts and arms reach back. Sweep up into chair and pulse a little bit. And then rise up into our mountain pose. So we're coming off the heels, but then feel the space all around us. Space all around us. Actually, let that aura expand. Energy body within, expanding outside of ourselves. And coming into either eagle heart mudra or namaste hands. Notice what feels best to you for that calm container of the heart, that nourishment of the heart. So tuning into the heart, lengthening through the crown, opening, remember, out in front of you. Our spiritual eye radiates out in front of us. Our spiritual presence within and out and around us, at least 4 feet, sometimes much larger. And we're gonna start with the Surya Namaskar, sun salute, but then it's gonna have some variation. So it's not gonna be the classic, but we'll start that way. We're invoking others onto our mat. We're seeing who would like to send healing light and energy, that light of the sun within and the sun around us. If you see it where you are, just know that it's there. Opening to the light of guidance, soul guidance. Okay, we got to get our personal agenda out of the way. That's the trick, to open and receive, to be more that clear conduit. It's certainly possible. We'll come to the front of the mat. Keep opening to the light, and then the hands come more into the classic A, tapping into a spiritual eye, the crown, lengthening, grow. It's a little bit like what we did lying down, but we're standing in our back bend. Inhale, coming back to center and swan diving forward. Inhale, heart lifts, spine elongates. Exhale, step it back, take your time for 3-legged dog. Inner borders of the feet together. When you're ready, if you're ready to lift that right leg up, go ahead and do so. Trying to root that left heel down. Bend the right knee. And then the right knee comes toward the right elbow. We do our kick for strengthening. And then one more time back. Possibly the knee toward the left elbow, kick. And plank. Variation. This one, we giant step into our lunge. So we bring the knee toward the chest and we step forward. And we come on top of that left knee. And we're just going to start with Coming up, still with the knee on the ground. And opening and expanding the heart. Reaching the arms up. Exhale. You could use your weights here. Have them by your side. I attune my will to the source of all power. Not quite our classic warrior one legs, but we're in lunge. We're still attuning our will to the source of all power. Let's bring this into the present. Now we're going to add a twist here. So we're going to bring our left hand down and twisting to the right. And then seeing if you can use a block here too. If you want to come off of that knee, my body wants to do that, or you can stay on the knee as you get more dynamic in our twisting lunge. Head to tail connected, thumb index fingers connected. Opening to universal guidance and wisdom, pouring into our individual self, the right alignment. A lot of times it's the opposite. And our individual self dictating its needs and wants. I mean, there's a place in that, but we want to feel that divine presence moving through our individual self. And then coming back from here, we'll go ahead and step back into our plank. This time, step the right foot out to the side, off the mat, and then back. And then the left foot out to the side and back. And either knee, chest, chin chaturanga or classic chaturanga. We're going to bring our arms back and lift off in our Loka Salambhasana, recharging our spine energy. Pulsing up and exhale, ease. Always working with effort and ease. Recharge, energize, pulse up, and restore. Now we'll take it into our cobra again, Bhujangasana, rising up to breathe this day. Inhale. Maybe knees off the ground, maybe not. Shoulders down though. Lion's breath. And take it back into a rounded cat. Inhale, neutral spine. Hover off the knees. Pouring back when you're ready, keeping those prayers of care. People you'd like to send healing, light energy to. Visualize them at the spiritual eye. As you make your adjustments and your ripple effect for downward facing dog. Cleansing the mind. This is going to help. I mean, just invoke. Just got to remind ourselves not to soften that personal ego identity. Let it soften. Let it soften. Draw the inner borders of the feet together. Left leg lifts up. And let's see how our kicks are on this side, if you can. Left knee toward the left elbow. And back. I need to walk my hands a little bit forward. I may need to do some adjustments as well. Left knee toward the right elbow. And back. And then when you're ready, giant step forward into our lunge with our right knee down. So I forgot to have the weights. If you wanted to bring your weights by your side, go ahead, have them there. You may have them there already. As we are strengthening. Inhale. Reaching up. And then let those hips ease. I attune my will to the source of all power. So this is one option with the weights going up and down. if you wanted, you can also go out to the side. I attune my will to the source of all power. Feel that as we add now our twist. So you can be on the knee or off the knee, hand on a block or not. Make a fist if you want, not to jam into the wrist. We're twisting the torso. I'm going to come off my back knee as we reach that arm up. Just feel the power of the breath. The energy in the twist. And I hold my thoughts up to the calmness within. In calmness, I receive inspiration from my higher self. So you're inviting that calmness within, even though it's a very active pose. We want energy and calmness. I'll keep reinforcing that. Stepping back. Elongate into your plank. This time, bring one forearm down than the other. A little differently. Rather than the foot, we're going to tap the hand forward and then back. I found this more challenging. The hand forward and then back. And then on top of the knees, the thighs, unfurl the toes into Sphinx. And rest. Take that in. Take that in. And hold my thoughts up to the calmness within and just rest at the spiritual eye. Softening the shoulders. Full yogic breathing. And then the more challenging is the arms out in front of us into that Y. Okay. We're doing opposite, our right arm, left leg, pulse it up, recharge, brain gym, so, and then soften. Feeding our brain, letting the lobes connect as we lift our left arm, right leg, and back, not get stuck anywhere. And then let's see what happens when we reach back in our lock or arms down by our side, and then let our feet kick like we're swimming. Good. Okay. And then just a moment with our hands at the sacrum, tops of the feet down, lift to heart, but then continue that lift in our cobra, in our Bhujangasana again. So imagine that block between the inner thighs. We're going to rise up. Might be easier. Open through the throat chakra. Okay, and then from here, we will rest in our rounded cat, or if you want prayer pose, feel free to stretch out in prayer for several breaths. Otherwise, we're going to keep flowing. So that rest and ease is just important as the strength and energy. We want both. And we're going to pour it back when you're ready. So if you're in prayer, take it back. And neutral spine, hover those knees. Pour back through the heels, open the toes. Maybe do a cross diagonal here, more weight on the right hand, right arm, left foot, left leg, right knee bends. And then shift. Left arm, left leg, more energy. Right foot, right leg, left knee bent. The calmness radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And step in one foot forward, then the opposite, one hand, resting at the inner elbows on the 4 points of the feet. You can rock very gently or stay stable. The main thing is to
Just feel the blood flow to the brain and the rootedness of the feet simultaneously, the spine elongating. And then if you want to add your weights for the chair pose variation when we come up, hopefully there, you can grab them, lift the heart, lift the head, reach back with the arms, inhale, forward, exhale like you're squeezing a block between your thighs. Of course, with the weights, it's more intense, building that bone strength. Recharging. But also, it's interesting to feel a lightness, perhaps, even though this is a very strong pose. Where can that heart be calm? As I reach up, and then I'm going to set the weights down. Take it in to our mountain pose. Feel the effect of a variation of a Surya Namaskar sun salute, saluting that light, that calmness within. You can feel that balance of energy, clear calmness. We can just cleanse not only our blood, our lymph, our physiology, but our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, just letting them be cleansed and rinsed as well. And when we do that, we're much more present in this moment. So as you open your eyes, you may feel a little bit more, less of that dominant egoic thoughts of what I got to do, how I'm going to do all these things, but just more restful in this moment. I'm going to take a drink of water, and we're going to keep flowing in our vinyasa. All right, I'll get this out of the way. So we are going to take this into our Virabhadrasana 2, and then a pyramid. So let's start with our left toes turning out, tracking our knee over the second toe. Again, you can use weights, just have your arms reaching out, shoulders lined up with the hips, rooting down, expanding out as I joyfully manifest power of the divine. I'm opening for the divinity that's here to flow through me. And we could do that with the intention of opening the heart, connected to the spiritual eye. Let's dance our warrior. Put this down. Meaning we'll slide our right hand down, our left arm up. Maybe wrapping this right arm around, maybe bending the elbow, rooting down through the hips more. And then flowing into our pyramid pose. Take your time. I'm going to need to step my back foot in a little bit more. Have a nice wide stance here. Left hip back, right hip forward, tailbone down. If you want to do a reverse prayer, you're more than welcome to, if your body allows that. Or hands on the hips. I'm going to try the reverse prayer, praying from back of the heart. As you come forward, spine elongates, don't rush it. And then at some point we release and bow in a rounded upper bow to the wisdom of the heart. Just a gentle, we elongate the spine first, and then we just gently fold it in to bow to the wisdom of the heart, letting it lead the way with that calm, open energy. Now we're going to add a twist here. If you wanted to use a block, or a weight or your hand like a fist, twisting from the core. We did a little bit earlier with that knee bent. Now both legs are straight. Head to tail, elongated, connected. So many benefits we know physically of the twist, cleansing our digestive system, but also thinking of cleansing our mental system, our emotional body. Releasing and coming back to the wisdom of the heart. Okay. Softening the knee. Taking a warrior one to transition. So what that looks like is we reach back. Root for a moment. Come into our wide leg extended pose. So before we take the whole warrior two to the other side, let's go ahead and hinge at the hips. Wrists underneath the shoulders. It's over here. Left fingertips face the right hand, the whole torso twists. Palm is facing away, elongate through the sacrum and the crown. I'm just going to tasting a twist here and back down. Right fingertips face the left hand, the torso twists yet again in a different plane. Twisting, energizing, cleansing. Head to toe connected and releasing. Fingertips face forward. Soften the knees, turn the toes out a little bit to come up. And our squat, got a squat, pulsing. Very good. And then turning for our warrior two. So, using weights if you like. If not, no problem. As we track that knee over the second toe. Arms come out to the side. Shoulders, hips. As we inhale, come root down and bring those arms in. I joyfully manifest the power of the divine. I joyfully open to manifest the power of the divine. We're opening up, and to do that, we let go. And this time we dance our warrior. So we bring those weights down, slide our left arm down, reach our right arm up, opening to the side. Let that shoulder drop down a bit. If you want, you could try the interlock. Excellent. And then we release. Soften through the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. And we begin to turn by softening both knees, especially that left one. Toes forward. Walk the right foot out to the side a bit. What am I bearing here? Right hip back, left hip forward, tailbone down. And hinge forward. We have a block here. So first get the spine elongated, open the toes. And then just a willingness to soften and to the calmness of the heart. Just keep returning to the heart and breathing and making space. And when we're ready, we'll add that twist. So I'm gonna make it this. We're gonna twist the belly, the chest, the torso to the side. Add the mudra if you'd like. Focusing on the breath and sensations in the body. Maybe even a island or water that you like. Place of inner resource, it's called, that we may not go there physically, but we can bring it into our mind's eye and have that feeling of that place wash through us for calming, restoration, and peace. Back to the wisdom of the heart. And then we soften the knee, and we're gonna rise it up. So we'll come up and turn the toes in, go into star pose, very expansive, and then bring it into mountain pose. Yield and feel your feet and those roots going down, 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 deep into the earth. But the crown of the head expanding up, up, up. And we'll move into our balance pose. So let's go into eagle pose, Garandasana. I'm going to use a block. And I don't always bring this up in our eagle pose, but think of it, there's so much going on in eagle pose. Think of it as a heart opening pose, as a heart containing pose. So we'll have the block by the little, on the outside of the left toes. And then here's that heart energy of the eagle, expanding and opening in flight. And then the right elbow, if possible, underneath the left. And, you know, this could be a variation. This is very nourishing, right? The heart hug is a little more intense, but it's squeezing that energy all around the heart and the shoulders, lifting the tips of the elbows up, bending the knees. And then we're looking at a space out in front of us as we bring the right leg up and then over. Now, if you fall, you just come back, okay? So you just find I'm purposely moving forward, back, and side to just say, okay, if the balance is off today, no problem. I could keep focusing, keep coming back. Amidst life storms, I could find my center. So it may not be easy to get right to the center, right? That's the metaphor, but we can get there. Amidst life storms, find my center. Okay, unraveling the arms, and then the leg, opening up, circling around that auric field. And think of Garandasana as a heart hugging pose. Oh, I forgot to bring the block over. Of course, left elbow on the bottom. Tips the elbows up. Now it's okay if we have a little, forward, back, side to find our balance here. See what happens on this side as we wrap that left leg around the right, sitting down or sitting those hips back. Amidst life storms, find my center. I can come back to my center at some point. So important to know that. I can't emphasize that enough. It's scary when we're disoriented and not feeling our center, but we can come back. All right, those elbow tips like to drop down, but we're going to unravel. Lift that knee. Heart hug. Let the energy swirl around maybe more expansively. Very good. And let's recharge our hands, our joints up in front. It's good to do throughout the day. Out to the side. And then above. And then we'll add what's called from Yogananda's energization exercise. Part of it is a recharge. We're affirming I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic. I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic.
One more time. I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic. Yeah, we'll do one more standing pose before we hit the ground. How about our wonderful half moon? So rooting down, feet no wider than hip width apart as we sweep again. That heart energy open. So many ways to expand. Maybe think of it throughout your day, how you can expand your heart. Reaching over to the right and clasping the left wrist. And affirming. Strength and courage fill my body cells. Strength and courage fill my body cells. And coming back to center, going into those W arms, mini back bend, tailbone down. And then reaching up, clasping the right wrist. Arcing over, rooting down through both feet. And affirming. Strength and courage fill my body cells. It's really, you get to affirm that out loud and then go softer, more inward. And when it feels like it's time for you, 3 to 5 breaths, come back and feel that energy that we've opened up. And that calmness, that container of the heart, the receiving of that energy, the openness of the heart to receive that energy. Okay, we're going to come down. We're going to do one, say half back bend lunge, and then take it into a bridge. And you're going to see how this is similar, but just done in different planes, like so many of the yoga poses we do. So we come forward. Bend both knees, shake out the head. And we're going to step that right foot back. Get the props out of the way here. And bring out block. I would recommend a block for half camel, Ardha Ustrasana. And then get ourselves with that tailbone drawing down. See if you want to bring your left foot out forward or out to the side a little bit more for balance. And we're going to sweep our right arm up and around and know that block is there, but then face forward and with calm faith, I open to the light. So depending on your orientation, you could say, with calm faith, I open to thy light. There's a deity figure you resonate with, or several, or it could be the light, the universal light. With calm faith, I open to the light. Beautiful. There's one light, many, many, many manifestations of it. Circling around, flexing through the left toes, half split, Ardha Hanumanasana, and over opposite of what we just did there, and our half camel, half split, half camel, and then of course bending the left knee, taking our block, well, first bringing the right foot forward, taking our block to the outside by the ankle, shin, get squared forward, so some physical alignment principles. Then we're invoking the divine affirmation within it. So sweeping our left arm up, add the mudra. Know that the block is there. You can look back for it. You look back, just reorient to forward. You can reach behind your thigh, your calf, your heel. With calm faith, I open to thy light. With calm faith,
I open to the light. Okay. And then coming back up. When you're ready, you can stay longer, feel free to do that. And then half split. Your knee's okay. Half split. This, I forgot to say, if it's not, we can come down into Jani Shirshasana. Let's just breathe here. Take that in. Noticing how perhaps you're equalizing the emotions in the body, thoughts and feelings, just come back to the energy that's animating all those, spiritual awareness. You're just learning really to come back again and again, or just to stay in this presence because it feels so good. As many of us know, mindfulness thoughts will come in, clouds come in, name it to tame it, planning. So many things. But we just come back to the breath. So much more spacious. Okay. All right. And now we're going to ease down. Have your block by your side because we'll be doing some bridge walking. And just a reminder to have the edge of the blanket on the shoulders and your head off the edge of the blanket. So I need to scooch a different direction here. So I come forward. And heart lifts again. With every breath lies infinite power. Before we come down, maybe we extend and then build strength. One more time. Every breath has infinite power. And then the heart lifts up. I hold my thoughts up to the calmness within. In that calmness, I receive inspiration from my higher self. It's harder to come through when our mental bodies, worry bodies activated. And we're gonna release our low back, mid back, upper back, edge of the head off the mat, or the blanket, rather. Let's hug those knees in before we do our bridge walk series. So we'll ease from side to side, relaxing the head, relaxing the heart. Okay. Now, because we'll be here a little while, I'm going to recommend the block to support our sacrum. First, we're going to do a classic bridge coming up. And our arms by our side, our large toes in. Inhale, step to Bandhasana, lift the hips up. Rock those shoulders underneath you. Now remember, take the heels towards you without moving them, energizing the legs. Every thought lies infinite power. We're going to take our block. And you can either have it upright like this or lower, depending on your back and what's happening there. I'm going to have mine higher on the sacrum. If that doesn't work for you, go lower. And take our time bridge walking. So we're going to fold that right knee in. Extend the right toes up, the right foot up. Flex and point. Flex and point, flex and point, and then slowly when lower, but we just lower to knee parallel, bend that knee. I like to turn the toes out slightly of the right foot as I fold that left knee in. Extend the leg, flex back, toes point towards you and then away. Do this 3 times, flexing and extending with every thought. It's infinite power as you then lower knee to knee and plant that foot slightly with the toes out to the side. Now we're not going to hold it this time. We're doing more classic bridge walking, meaning bending the knee Extending the leg and then reaching, sensing and feeling. Folding and bending that knee and then drawing the knee, left knee in, one more round here. Let's see more of the less holding and flexing and more fluidity in our bridge walking. Now this is fun coming out of it. So we press through our arms and we lift that block out. Take your time to melt down into the central channel of the spine. We really do a lot in our practice as always to energize in the central channel. If your low back's okay, we can rest in a butterfly. If it's too much on your low back, have the feet wide, the knees come in more of a container. Put one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, lower those shoulders away from the ears. Full yogic breath here. Let's exhale through the mouth. Inhale, belly, ribs, heart expands. And then heart, ribs, belly, release. Do a couple more rounds, feeling the fullness of the yogic breath. Definitely will bring you into this present moment. Just reminding ourselves as we start, keep fully breathing, arms can reach out. And then around and give ourselves a heart hug, rocking gently side to side. Open up again. This time our knees are going to come up too. Feet hip width apart, clasping very gently at the elbows, adjusting the tailbone under. And then we're pouring our right elbow toward the floor. Keep rooted through the feet. Head is in line with the spine. Really working the scapula here. So Feldenkrais movement. Inhale back to center. It's a lot of shoulder work we did. And then pouring our left elbow toward the floor. Keep pressing through the feet. Head in line with the spine. I feel that dental floss releasing tightness of the shoulders back to center. And then we'll just do our twist pose, feet still hip width apart or wider. I'm going to drop the knees over to the right. The head turns to the left. Open heart. And then we sweep that left arm up and around, affirming divine life is within me and all around me. Divine life is within me and all around me. The open heart and that energy flowing through the body. Engage the core. Come back up to center. Adjust onto the spine. And of course, the knees go over to the left. Head turns to the right. And we do that same thing. The left arm comes up and over. That rainbow arc above as we affirm maybe more quietly. Divine life is within me and all around me. Maybe even silently. Divine life is within me and all around me. Okay, engage core, bringing the knees up, the head in line with the spine, finishing with the legs coming up to the sky, arms too, shaking it out. Coming into happy baby pose, bending the knees,
And rocking side to side, ironing out the low back. Maybe extending one leg, maybe not. And getting yourself set up for a comfortable shavasana. We won't stay as long because I want to lead us through a guide or higher self meditation. So if whatever feels good to you, your legs up the wall, over a chair, bolsters, props. We are gonna restore and then ask. And that's a much better way to ask when you're in a receptive, clear state. So, getting comfortable, get water, cozy, eye bag, blanket. Okay. Alrighty. So depending on your position, we're just softening and receiving the support of the earth. If it's helpful to take a double breath, short, long inhale, and then tense the body. Tense, 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 and then short, long exhale, release. Letting go. Easing the head from side to side. Eventually, the head aligns with the spine. And we soften any lines in the forehead. Let those eyelids left and right get heavy. So the two become one. The two eyes gently focus inwardly at the spiritual eye. No strain, just a focus, gentle orientation there. And this is the broadcasting center in yoga. Softening the jaw, left and right. Feeling the cool air coming in through both nostrils, maybe even coolness at the spiritual eye, the broadcasting center. And the warm cooked air coming out of nostrils. The heart, by the way, is the receiving center. Take the mystery out. These are the two energies we really want to focus on. As you relax the gums, the teeth, maybe even place the tongue behind the two front teeth to open the throat chakra, that oceanic sound. Softening the shoulders away from the ears. And notice where the hands want to be. Do they want to be open palms, belly, heart? You see what works for you. Breathing into the heart. Feel the space, the calm. Worked a lot on just really tuning in to the calmness within. So we're breathing into the floor, the ceiling, the side walls of the chest. In calmness, I receive inspiration, my higher self. Much better to be calm when we ask here shortly. Breathing into the ribs and the belly, the low back. Feel that ventilation, that oscillation. Relaxing the cheeks and the lower limbs now, the legs, the thighs, the knees, left and right, the calves, the ankles, all the way through to the soles of the feet, digits of the toes. Relaxed yet aware. In this relaxed and aware state, just know that you could be seated in a classic meditation pose or lying down when you ask for inner guidance. The main thing is to first think of a yes or no question. We don't want to make it that it can be a very complicated content, but it's harder to receive clear intuition if it's not a yes or no question in the beginning. So just think of if you do have a question you'd like to ask your higher self, yes or no question. Just begin to now inwardly broadcast that at the spiritual eye, go up the spine, asking for inner guidance, and expecting to get that inner guidance. It may be urgent that you need this question resolved, but just know that with faith, we're asking, we're going up our central channel, up to the spiritual eye. And then the second part is just receiving them. Is that yes or no question? Of course, if there's more tension and anxiety, that's probably a no. If there's more of a willingness and openness, it's probably a yes. Much more likely to receive that answer in the heart. And if you're maybe not used to doing this, or maybe you're not getting a yes or a no, another possibility is to give a couple options. So depending what the situation is, what the question is, what if I did this? And then listen and feel. We give it another option. We don't have to spend a lot of time here. In fact, sometimes it's better just to take that first hit. If I did this, feel in the heart now what the response would be after you broadcast from the spiritual eye, receive in the heart. And again, you'll feel much more that open willingness of the yes, or more of a closed tension if it's a no. Of course, thanking your higher self. You may have a deity you go to ask these questions, or it may be a fresh time of doing this and noticing what kind of energy is around you and your higher self. It could be light, it could be all kinds of things. I want you to open to it. And our higher self is always here. The key is we need to ask for the guidance. That's where our individual self opens up to guidance and clarity and wisdom. And it could be this simple. We could do it in several breaths, but it is good to get the energy aligned more clearly and cleared out in the body, any obstructions and released as much as possible so we can gain that wisdom from within, our higher guidance, our soul guidance. And our preferences can distort that guidance. That's why it's good to clear out as much as we can. So in calmness, I receive inspiration from my higher self. Thank you, higher self. You'll be visiting as often as you like. Start to return sensation, maybe wiggling your fingers or toes. Remember, and we want to be solution oriented with whatever our challenges come up. We know what the problems are. And so I want to ask for guidance of the solution. The willingness is really important for the solution, and rocking onto your side, giving yourself that comfort of the fetal pose. We've done a really great clearing of our physical, mental, emotional body, and we can take it further and ask for guidance. And when you're ready, coming up to a comfortable seat if you're ready, or staying in Shavasana. I'm going to send this healing energy to others through our 3-syllable Om sound, through the intention and the visualization of visualizing you'd like to send healing energy to, or light energy to, wisdom energy to. I'm going to rub, and it could be the planet, it could be all kinds of the whole deal here as we rub our hands together, generate some heat. And that, again, that heart energy expand through our hands as we inhale. Om. Om. Bringing the hands, namaste. Acknowledging the divine awareness within, recognizing that within everyone and everything, that's where we are one. As we bow to the wisdom of the heart, letting it lead the way, asking for guidance at times to get more clarity from only our rational brain used to processing and thinking it. It's much more balanced if we bring our heart into our broadcasting center of our spiritual eye. And it is a practice we could return to again and again. And I will just stop the recording now. So those who want to stay can check in. Oh, wait a minute.